I was thinking maybe it was your throwing technique, but I think it's the plane. Hi everybody, my name is Chris Salamone and I'm a professional furniture designer and woodworker. And today I'm going to be giving you my initial impressions of Other Angles, which is a capsule collection of office essentials, so desks, chairs, etc., which was designed to cultivate creativity and help freelancers or really anybody find inspiration regardless of where they're working. Now, the reason that I said freelancers there is because this collection was made as a tribute to freelancers, as a collaboration between Fiverr and Bi-Rite Studio. Now, as you may or may not know, Fiverr is a company whose mission is to change how the world works together by connecting businesses with those freelancers who offer their digital services. So if that's something that you're in the market for, definitely check them out to see what kind of services are available to you. I've used them before. They've got something for nearly every budget, quick turnarounds, and even money-back guarantees. But anyway, all that said, let's start looking at this collection. So to help me give my first impressions, or I guess our first impressions, I've got my wife Dolores here. And the reason that I decided to do this is because as a professional furniture designer, I'm probably gonna tend to look at this stuff from a more aesthetic or design point of view, when really what this collection is all about is cultivating creativity for the people who would ultimately be using it, freelancers or whoever, I guess. And so I thought that she could give a nice different perspective or other angle. So should we start looking at this stuff and reacting?
Let's do it.
So first up, it looks like we've got a desk. All right, so my very first impression, gut reaction is, it makes me think of a very whimsical, beachy 80s new take on school furniture. Remember how you'd have like the desk that you'd lift up or you'd keep all your books in there or whatever?
It's cute. Kind of looks like a bench. I like how it opens up on the top. When I was in an office job, I had a lot of confidential documents. And so if someone came in, it'd be kind of nice to just like, boop, put everything in there and be like, welcome, how can I help you? Or what's going on?
Well, I can also vouch for that from a creative point of view. Having everything sitting there gives me anxiety and kind of makes me feel like I can't move forward. Yeah. So having a place to just kind of like work on this next thing and kind of reset out of sight and out of mind so that you can focus on one particular task that you're trying to is a benefit. All right, well, it looks like we're back at the beach. So I'm taking it that if the last thing was the desk, then this is the chair that you sit on at the desk, a kind of a like a beach ball looking.
Gives me hacky sack vibes. Those are gonna come back, right? 90s? Where's the hacky sack? I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, okay, if I were working from home, I'm no longer in an office, in a cubicle, it could maybe change kind of your vibe or your energy about work.
I will say that most people probably are not gonna spend 8 straight hours, hopefully sitting at a chair like this and working. So it could be the type of thing that's like, okay, now I need to like get into this mode.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go bounce on my ball and.
Do you remember having one of those when you were a kid? Those bouncy balls with the handle and you just like bounce
I didn't
around?
have the ones with the handles, I had a pogo ball. It looked kind of like a flying saucer where it was like a ball and a disc going around it and like the ball was like...
Oh yeah, kind of like a little Saturn thing.
What would you think if you walked into like our accountant's office and he was on this?
I think like, oh, they're, I don't know, hip and cool.
I would think that they're gonna help us find some creative ways to...
Cut corners?
Maybe avoid some taxes.
No, I want to pay.
If they're on this chair?
No. I want
it's all
them.
Gonna be above water.
I want our accountant to be on the ball, literally, figuratively.
All right, so if you want an accountant that's on the ball, this is the chair that they should be sitting
around
in.
Like that. I don't want anything shady.
All right, next up, it looks like we've got a mood board. And it looks like you have your left side that's stainless steel, so that's more business serious kind of side, and then you've got this like playful blue on the other side. Yeah. Would you use it that way? Tasks on the stainless steel side are invoicing. Tasks on the blue part are draw something.
My work and play.
You know what this reminds me of?
Black and white cookie.
I don't remember what it was called, but there were these commercials in the 80s, like a diet pill or something maybe. 2 bright colors split right down the center. And then in it, there were like a bunch of little like
balls.
BBs, yes. Yeah. And so those are like the BBs. I remember seeing it as a little kid.
It's cute. I like how it contrasts with the yellow magnets and it's not a royal blue.
It's regal.
Curtsy.
Of all the things we've seen so far, this is the one that I would be most likely to use it right now and I don't have to even think about it. I would just throw it up there and it's just a cooler looking place to put stuff than Post-its sitting on a wall. Real quick before we go any further, I just want to give a huge shout out to all of the Fiverr sellers who helped bring this to life. Here you can see their names, where they're from, and what kind of work they do. I'm not going to say their names because I'm known to butcher names and I don't want to offend anybody, but huge shout out to all of them for putting their time and effort into this and just bringing it all together. Comment below, or maybe you want to wait until you've seen all the items and then comment below, but let me know, what do you think of the Fiverr Bi-Rite Studio Office Essentials? Leave a comment, let me know what you'd purchase or what you'd like to see created. You can also head over to fiverr.co/4eyes to check out the Fiverr sellers who helped bring these pieces to life. All right, so now we're gonna go into some of the smaller things. So let's see what they are. So this says mirror. It looks like it would be right at home in Max, who was the chef and proprietor at The Max in Saved by the Bell. Looks like this would be in his office.
What is that brand? It was a shoe brand and it was...
LA Gear?
LA Gear. This gives me LA Gear vibes.
I don't know anything about shoes.
I think it's fun, it's cute. I could see myself playing with it. A lot of these things, I feel, if I have writer's block, I could see myself fidgeting with a lot of these items.
But that's kind of what I'm starting to get from all of these, which I think we'll kind of talk about towards the end of like the totality of these things together, what they can evoke in somebody, I guess. Yeah. So they actually sent me, in addition to just the images of these things that have been created, they've actually sent me a few physical objects. So I'm gonna go grab the package right now and let's see what's in there. I'll close my eyes.
Okay.
So it's basically a sketch pad, but you've got a write area and a sketch area. Something that I get asked a lot about is, where do you get your inspiration from? As if there's like this magic place that inspiration comes from, and the only time that you do creative work is when you feel inspired. And I've always pushed back against that a lot, because obviously it's probably different for everybody, but I don't personally have these like great moments of inspiration where it all just comes to me and then I go start drawing it out or whatever. But when it comes to designing 98% of the stuff that I design, it comes from having a task to do. Maybe I feel motivated to do it, maybe I don't. But kind of just treating it like work and going and starting to do it. Whether you're inspired or not, you just start working. Within that, something clicks for me. And so a big part of doing that and like trying to get that inspiration to start clicking is sketching. So I think that keeping something like this for probably anybody, but especially anybody who's trying to do something creative, is invaluable. Is that the right word? You can't put a value on how important it is. I think invaluable is the right word.
Yeah.
So while not furniture, and I mean, I guess I don't even have to say that I would use this. They sent me a whole pad, so I will use this.
I will use this.
Here, you have the little one. I'll take this one. Other Angles, that's the name of this
Collection?
Cards?
I don't know.
Thought-provoking cards to help boost your creative flow. So, okay. All right, should we try some?
I've got nails.
Yeah, but I think we're gonna need a knife for that.
I got it.
You did?
Yes.
I'll ask you this first one. Oh wait, I guess it's not a question, so we can look at them together. Take out the garbage, then literally take out the garbage. I guess the first one's the garbage in your head. Kind of like people talk about shower thoughts, where when your mind has something else that's focused on, but like that doesn't really require focusing on, then it's free to let like the more subconscious thoughts become conscious.
I literally take out the garbage when I need to be taken out of what I'm thinking about. If I'm worried about something or stressed, I tend to start cleaning, because then I'm just focused on something so mundane.
Like it's a problem that gets solved. Here's a problem.
Let's do another one.
Yeah, we'll
That's
do a
kinda
few of
fun.
them. Put your phone on airplane mode and make a paper airplane.
I make paper airplanes.
I suck at making paper airplanes. In fact,
I mean,
let's have a competition.
yours is nice. Look at that.
It is pretty nice.
You're a designer. I'm plain Jane.
Airplane Jane.
Right now I need my form.
Oh boy.
I came
I can just go like that and beat yours.
All right, you're going places.
Let's see if... I was thinking maybe it was your throwing technique, but I think it's the plane. Jeez.
I'm sorry. It's like you think we were close.
It hit me in the forehead, but still.
I'm sorry. I didn't.
Oh! Try not to lose an eye this time.
Going back to this airplane mode or whatever, I'm sure it's about like, get off your phone and think about.
Yeah, do something fun. Write a letter to yourself explaining the problem in the simplest possible terms. How would you explain this problem to a 7-year-old, and then what would they say that you could do to fix it? They're probably not going to give an exact answer, but maybe there's like something in there that leads you to it. Do you have a pumpkin tattoo?
I do. Everything's an adventure. That should be one.
You're giving them ideas for get a pumpkin tattoo.
These were fun. How is it that
we still got like 40-something more to do.
I could see this being like a fun Zoom icebreaker.
Sitting on your beach ball and you take a Zoom call, you could start the call off with, hey, everybody, have you ever considered the possibility that you haven't actually started? They'd all hate you. Just joking. So there's everything all together. You got your desk, your bouncy ball, your mood board. Okay, so now that we see this whole space.
It gives me cool startup vibes. I think it sparks creativity, no?
Yeah, I mean, I think that what sparks creativity for one person is not necessarily what sparks creativity for another person, but I think kind of the macro takeaway would be that this is an angle on something that could spark creativity. So, you know, for somebody that might be sneakers that they like to look at or whatever, but like the objects that you have, they're not just there just to like serve a utility.
Right.
There's a extra meaning beyond that. Otherwise, every piece of furniture would just be a box that had the most storage in it. I can literally say I've built pieces that have trapezoids instead of boxes as the cabinet, which if you took the same negative space that those occupy, a trapezoid is inherently worse than a rectangle is going to be. But at the end of the day, the best pieces of furniture should do many things. But if I had to pick the two most important things, here's what they'd be. One, it has to serve its purpose. That's a non-starter. Otherwise, it's just a piece of art. And next, beyond that, it should bring its owner or user some sort of joy when they look at and interact with it. Now, obviously, joy is subjective, but something that's pretty undeniable when you look at this collection is that it evokes something. Love it or hate it, you're gonna notice it and probably have an opinion. As for my opinion, while the collection is very different from the type of stuff that I've designed so far, I can appreciate it. For the most part, it gives me a fun, whimsical, nostalgic feeling. I think that's evident by how many times Dolores and I referenced toys or memories from the 80s and 90s upon first viewing the pieces, which completely makes sense given that the collection falls right in line with Bi-Rite's aesthetic, which is based on postmodern and vintage designs, primary colors, and minimal silhouettes. Basically the kind of stuff that somebody my age would have grown up seeing on TV and in magazines. If you're older or younger than us, it probably evokes something different in you. What that is, I have no idea. But you can tell me in the comments.
I think this is fun. It's new.
It's fun, it's new, yet it's from the late 80s, early 90s. Inspired.
It's cute.
Okay, so now I'm gonna kind of turn the question on you, the viewer, and ask, what kind of impact do you think furniture and items have on your creativity? And which of these items would you like to have the most? Visit fiverr.co/4eyes to learn more about this collaboration and the freelancers involved.